All right, guys. Hi there. Jeff Kirdeikis here to give you the quick rundown on PodFast podcast summaries powered by AI. Doesn't get any simpler of a pitch than this. 3-hour podcasts, ain't nobody got time for that. We summarize it into 15-minute animated summaries. What else is there to say? Not much. You could turn this video off now and you'd already know what we do, but let's dive into it anyways. So as you know, we got book summaries out there already. You have Blinkist, everyone knows Cliff Notes, and they summarize books really effectively. I love Blinkist. I use it all the time. And it's a 15-minute summary. I get all the key points from the book, and that's fantastic. The thing is, I've already heard most of these things, and there's a lot of good podcasts that I would love to dive into, but I do not have 3 hours, nor do I really enjoy reading things. I much prefer to just kind of listen to it on the go. And there's no summary that's been done in audio format. And also sometimes I like to, do a little workout and have the video playing. And so to have the video and the audio, it's a double whammy. I would love it. So that's why I built this product, because it's something that I actually really wanted. And we're already building it out and doing it. And then AI came into the frame and I said, dang, this makes this a lot easier to produce the product with the power of AI. So PodFast was born and off we go. Podcast industry landscape. I don't need to go over these numbers. You guys already know podcasts are huge. They're continuing to grow, especially in COVID. You saw everyone and their dog had a podcast. Probably literally there were dogs on podcasts, and it's growing exponentially. So there's certainly a high demand for these podcasts. Now, one thing I want to clarify is, what podcasts are we summarizing? Like, is Joe in his garage getting his podcast summarized? Answer, yes and no. So first, the no is the podcasts that we're actively summarizing and posting to our channel are the large podcasts. We're talking the top 10 are the ones that are super interesting, or particular episodes that get a ton of engagement and traction. We're summarizing those because those are the ones that people actually want to be listening to. If Joe in his garage wants to get a summary done, that's fantastic. He pays us a fee. We create the summary. We have a side channel. We post it on there. So that's great. He gets discovery. He gets the summary. It's a great win-win all around. Let's keep moving on here. What is PodFast? A lot of words here. Basically what I've already said, it distills podcasts into an easily digestible format. Something I haven't mentioned yet, though, is this is a little bit of a side project that we've built. And this is actually potentially even larger than the main product itself. It's a little bit of a sleeper in the pitch deck, because I don't want to overpromise on how much, let's say, reach this can get, because I think there could be some potential competition here, but an AI browser extension that instantly converts online videos into concise summaries to maximize your time. So if you're watching a podcast on YouTube, let's say, or any video, and we haven't created a summary for it yet, you literally click a little yellow button, or sorry, orange on the bottom, and it says summarize, and then boom, right on the right-hand side, it's going to give you bullet point list with timestamps. What are they talking about? You can click on it. It will expand it and tell you exactly the main points from that video. So you can just breeze through, find it. It's way better and more efficient than the timestamps that they put at the bottom, because those aren't very granular and you still have to listen to the whole timestamp. So that's very cool. And I think I'm actually just going to skip ahead. I'm going to show you that right now. There it is. The AI browser extension. That's what it looks like. Here's the video playing. Here you have the title, the different key things. And I clicked on this one here, and now it expands and you can see all the little sub points with that, including the timestamp. Now let's move back. So the animated summaries, how are we going to get traction here? Like when we're posting these summaries, like what's our marketing strategy? Well, one of the main ones is that creating these animated summaries is a layup for content creators, because what do content creators want? They want more exposure, not just the podcast host, but also the podcast guest. They know not everyone has 3 hours of time, but they still want to get a message across and potentially entice people to listen to that full 3-hour podcast. So giving them a 15-minute snippet, giving the public a 15-minute snippet of their content, the core essence of it, can either, boom, one, shows them, the host, the guest, shows them their key thoughts and insights, and it's also a little bit of a lead generator to watch the full podcast. So it's really a win-win here. And the very first one that we did was a super basic summary. I would consider quite low quality, as it was our first one. But Michael Saylor, I would say one of the leaders in the Bitcoin space right now, 3 million followers. He took it. He loved it. He said, I'm going to share this. He never contacted me. I don't know Michael Saylor, but he just shared this organically. And so that to me spoke immensely to the power of PodFast and what it can do, because Saylor sharing it, this is what we anticipate to see from other hosts and guests. I'm going to cruise through the rest of this deck. You can check it out on podfast.app, the website for creators, for listeners. You can just see the different benefits here, the business model, AI browser extension, in-app promo. We have the mobile app, iOS, Android. That's all great. You can, as I mentioned, Joe in his garage. That's episode sponsorships. So that's one of the revenue models. Just like every other video, you put sponsors in there. That's that. Client-specific contracts. That's the Joe in his garage example there. And marketability. How one of the ones is where they share it. We're going to be cross-posting it to everywhere: Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, everything. So we're not just taking the 1 15 or 10-minute clip. We're going to be splitting that into 1-minute sections, because each clip will be structured as the top 10 big ideas. And so each big idea will be its own unique clip that will be shared on Instagram, TikTok, all those kinds of things that can go viral or be shared by the host or the podcast guest by themselves. Also, SEO is a layup here, guys, because as soon as, episode 4068 of Joe Rogan with whoever comes out, we have our summary ready like that. We post it, and now we're ranked number 2 on YouTube. We're ranked number 2 on Spotify. We're ranked number 2 on Google, because we're right there. We have the information. We have the summary. And I'm going to anticipate that we're going to get a lot of traction because, like I say, not everyone has 3 hours, and some people just want to get a little taste before they jump into the whole thing. So anticipate to see keywords doing really well as blog summaries ranking on Google. So this is all great stuff. Of course, there's the classic affiliate links, email marketing. We got it covered, guys. Fast tokenomics, can check that out. So we're launching it as super low initially, fully diluted market cap, $2 million. Everything's 100% unlocked. There's no VCs. We're just going right out of the gate, and you get rewarded just for holding. So anytime someone buys, sells, or transfers fast tokens, 0.75% of that goes to the token holders. So if you had, I won't do the math here, but if you have and it's proportionate. So if you have 1% of the supply, you would get 1% of this 0.75% reflection on every single transaction. We also have some going to the liquidity pool. We have some going to the treasury for continued growth. So we got this thing set: deep liquidity, deep rewards for the users, and a really, really low market cap with great tokenomics. No vesting. How about them apples? Allocation, easy as 40%, 10%. You can check that out. Fast token utility, it's all here. Access to premium services, reflections, work proposals. It's great. We have our community proposals, right? So if you hold the tokens, then you can submit community proposals. We just don't want everyone spamming the chat. The whole idea here is that, let's go back. We have the community build fund. That is what the community proposals are used for. Our roadmap, it's actually a really conservative roadmap, considering most of this stuff is actually already completed. But you can check it out on your own. I'm not going to read through it. You guys all have eyes. And that's me. I am the CEO of TrustSwap, company with $750 million US secured across 13 blockchains. That's on our product Team Finance. We've raised over $15 million for our incubators on our launchpad, and 4.5 million downloads of our mobile app called the Crypto app, which you can find on iOS and Android in the App Store. So check that out. Really great app. And if that's it, that is it. I'm not going to spend any longer. I want this video to be as evergreen as possible. So if I go into more details about the launch, where to find it, it's not going to be relevant. But anyways, thanks a lot, guys. Jeff Kirdeikis. Chat to you later.